that hello got caught or not, but you know, I've got this problem with my video editing, as in I don't do any. Just what you see is what you get. It's the loose cannon number 60 something. I'm not sure. I didn't check. Check the number at the top, and you'll find out which number it is. Not that you're collecting or anything, because this is the here and now. And here and now, what have we got to deal with? Well, not a lot of transfer news, I'll be honest with you. Maybe I saw a bit, but I didn't bother to write it down, so I'm not going to be covering a lot, apart from Didier Drogba. I'll talk about that briefly in a while. What else? About players that could possibly be leaving. I saw an interesting story about 3 players that have been targeted by that big club that we don't like very much, or some of us don't like. I don't particularly mind them, but yeah, we do feel like a feeder club nowadays. More on that later. First of all, first things first, obviously Southampton coming up. That should be an interesting game. Southampton bottom of the table, of course, with no points. The big question is, will Vito Mannone start? A lot of us think he's done enough to convince Arsene Wenger that he's deserving of a start. And Arsene Wenger obviously saying some very complimentary things about Mannone. So that encourages me to believe that possibly Mannone will be on the bench. I don't think he'll start. I think he'll start with Szczesny. But I don't think Szczesny's really covered himself in glory of late. Well, he did keep a clean sheet, didn't he, in the first game? But Mannone's done just as well, I feel. And I don't know. I'd probably be tempted to go with Mannone and see how it goes. Because I think I wrote an article saying that one of the things I'm afraid of is that Mannone could become the next Alex Manninger. Manninger, excellent keeper in my opinion. Went on to Fiorentina, did okay there. But he could have been maybe not an Arsenal great, but certainly a very solid goalkeeper. And when he had to make way for David Seaman, I felt that was a great shame, because David Seaman, obviously more of an Arsenal legend, but at the time David Seaman was injured. Manninger came in, played pretty well, and we got some great results. And then Arsene Wenger dropped him. I just didn't think that was fair. I think normally I'm of the mind that you don't change a winning team. It just makes your job easier as a manager, and you know what they say, simplicity is genius in the game of football. So anyway, looks like Szczesny's going to come back. Interestingly, I read, I was going to talk about this later, but I'll bring it up now. Lucas Fabianski's got a shoulder problem. Isn't that strange? He was injured before the international break, and he's injured after it. Does anyone out there suspect skullduggery, or perhaps some disingenuity? It sounds like an engineer that's gone a bit wrong, but no, I think a bit of dishonesty perhaps from the manager. I don't know. Of course, he doesn't have to reveal everything to the press. The press are like, well, they're like dogs, really, aren't they? I mean, that's why they say, managers tend to say, "I'm going to throw you a bone, give you something to chew on," to the assembled journalists, because really they just want stories, and that's their job. And maybe the manager's job is to lie sometimes to protect the team. But I don't know. I don't know if that's a particularly good idea, because it just creates speculation, unnecessary speculation. Fabianski out of contract in the summer. I think he's going to move on. I'm not really sure how he can stay. And Arsene Wenger also said on the goalkeeping subject, he said normally you'd keep 2 goalkeepers at the club, and at the moment we've obviously got 3 because there have been injury problems, obviously Szczesny being injured, or is that another smokescreen? Smokescreen even, could be. But certainly one thing that isn't a smokescreen is Olivier Giroud's lack of goals. That's not prevented him from becoming very popular with the fans, and I think rightly so. He's on a bit of a goalless streak that has to end sometime. It could end against Southampton. They do allow a lot of shots on their goal, apparently, because of the way they play, but it's going to be my first chance to see Southampton play for quite a while, actually. I've seen them in the past when they had Theo Walcott playing for them. Of course, if he recovers from his virus, he'll be possibly playing against his former club. But will he play? And there's my alarm going off, just to show how early it is right here. Do you want to hold on a second?